The VA regional office really has me ticked off. I've been handling VA claims for the last 15 years, and I've seen a lot of bad decisions. But the last year is by far the worst decisions I've seen come out of the VA. Welcome to VA Made Easy. I'm VA-accredited attorney and U.S. Army combat veteran Ed Farmer. Today, we're going to discuss 4 biggest issues I see coming out of the VA regional office. If you've been denied your claim, visit me at vetlawoffice.com or call me at 1-800-700-4174. I provide zealous advocacy. I'll prep you for your CMPA exams. I'll help you obtain that medical nexus opinion. I'll help you get those buddy statements. There's no fee unless I win. Sign up for a free consultation at vetlawoffice.com. But for now, let's get into it. All right, so the decisions come out of the regional office are especially bad in this last year. I'm going to discuss the 4 biggest problems I see in my practice. So the first biggest problem by far is the VA's ignoring of independent medical opinions or VA medical nexus opinions. I have discussed in the past issues with these online companies who are mass producing these VA medical nexus opinions and what the issues with those nexus opinions are. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about well-supported, well-reasoned nexus opinions that we're getting and the VA just refuses to acknowledge. I've talked about the benefit of the doubt rule in the past, where when you have a negative medical nexus opinion and a positive nexus opinion and everything else is equal, they must grant that claim. And they're just not doing that. Not only are they not granting based on the independent medical opinions, they're doing this bullshit duty to assist errors that just sends the claim on a constant hamster wheel. Let me tell you something. There is no VA rule or regulation that says you need to confirm an independent medical opinion. So this bullshit that the VA's pulling where they're saying, well, we have to have one of our examiners look at your independent medical opinion to confirm it. Really? You need your crappy examiners who write crappy exams to verify what my examiner said? Get out of here. That is not the rule. There is no such rule. The rule is the benefit of the doubt rule that says when the evidence is nearly equal, you must find in favor of the veteran. And this issue just seems to be getting worse and worse. It's especially true when it comes to sleep apnea claims, migraine claims, some of these more commonly applied for claims that result in higher ratings. The second biggest issue I see coming out of the VA regional office has to do with the higher level review informal conferences. And I've done videos about this in the past, and they have gotten worse. These informal conferences have become so unproductive at this point. My firm is handling informal conferences less and less and just sending a written argument into the regional office. 98% of the informal conferences I have, there is no productive conversation. The higher level reviewer hasn't even reviewed the file. They have no idea what the issues are. They don't know why it's been denied. I'll ask them, well, what's wrong with our independent medical opinion? Why can't you grant on our independent medical opinion? I actually had a decision review officer tell me, well, I don't review the file before I have the informal conference. I don't want it to taint my opinion. What? How can you have a productive conversation about what the issues are in the case if you haven't even reviewed the file? You're eventually going to have to look at that file. And what do you mean it's going to taint you? The law is the law. The facts are the facts. Look at the information and let's have a productive conversation about what the issues are and get this veteran the benefits they deserve. So if you don't know, the informal conferences aren't even recorded. They're just taking notes. And as an accredited representative, I have access to what notes they're taking. Many times they're not even accurately putting in the notes the issues I brought up. Our firm is taking a step back from conducting these informal conferences and submitting written arguments on behalf of our clients. The third biggest issue I see coming out of the VA regional office are incorrect exam requests. This is a huge problem. The examiners stink already. It doesn't help that the VA isn't even asking the examiners the correct questions. If you're unaware, as a VA-accredited attorney, we have access to those exam requests. I could see what question that the regional office is asking of the examiner. I could see what evidence that they are giving to the examiner. Most of the time, the exam request is wrong, or they're not giving them all the evidence. This is especially true in these cases where weight gain's a factor, where you're trying to link PTSD to weight gain to sleep apnea, for instance. Most of the time, they leave out the weight gain part, the most important part. So they'll say, is the veteran's sleep apnea as likely as not related to PTSD? Well, we know that's going to result in a denial because the examiner are going to say, no, there's no link between mental health condition and sleep apnea. Well, what about the weight gain part? You can link the mental health to the weight gain, which then we can link to the sleep apnea, but you're completely leaving that out, which is just going to result in a negative opinion and another denial to the veteran. I've been advising clients more and more not to go to exams because of the incorrect exam requests, because they're not giving them the buddy statements, because they're not giving the examiner the proper evidence. It's bad. It's resulting in terrible decisions, and it's not fair to the veteran. Fourth biggest issue I see at the VA regional office is incorrect effective dates. I think probably 75% of our clients, even when get granted, they have an incorrect effective date. They'll set the effective date from the time you file the supplemental appeal, even though you've continuously pursued this for many years. They'll set the effective date and the date of the exam, saying, well, that's when entitlement arose. And they don't understand the complicated effective date issues, especially when it comes to something like unemployability. Shouldn't have to fight years and years to get service connected and then fight again just to get the proper effective date. So why are these things happening? I don't have any direct knowledge of why it's happening. I suspect that the VA regional offices are overworked and undertrained and pushing these employees to just pump out decisions, and it's resulting in bad decisions and lots of mistakes and denials on behalf of the veteran. Well, what can we do about it? I'll tell you what my firm's doing about it. So we will appeal at the regional office level as long as we can before we get to the point where we're going to say we're not going to get anywhere. So usually 2 or 3 appeals at the regional office level, and if we don't get what we want, now we're going to the Board of Veterans Appeals. And I know a lot of you at this point are probably like, I'm not going to the board. Give it some thought. Think about what you want. Would you rather spend 2 to 3 years at the regional office just getting bad exam after bad exam or continually ignoring your medical opinion? You think that just paying for another medical opinion is going to help in your case? It's probably not. The quality of the decisions that come out of the Board of Veterans Appeals is much higher than what comes out of the regional office level. These people are usually attorneys. They understand the law. They understand how to review evidence. And we're getting a lot of favorable decisions from the board. Yes, you may have to wait 3 or 4 years for a decision out of the board, but well, what's better? Are you going to waste 2 to 3 years at the regional office? Or do you want to take it directly to a judge who understands what the hell you're talking about and grant the claim? The point here is, don't take these things so personally. These mistakes are happening to a lot of veterans who have claims pending. And also, don't give up. Just because the VA keeps denying you doesn't mean that denial is valid. You have options. Get help if you want. Get a VA-accredited representative to help you. Visit me at vetlawoffice.com. Call me at 1-800-700-4174. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing, and remember, you have the power to change your VA claim.